up, baby! Ah! Let's go!
This guy's silky. Hello. Welcome back, Chicago Hockey Radio. Bit different setup today. The Wi-Fi's been a little spotty at the studio, so we're pre-recording this one. Tassos is not in this room with me because he's in the producer chair. Justin Lynch on Zoom. Tassos has a word count today. He's only allowed to say 20 things, and then he is going to be muted.
Very funny.
I'm just kidding.
I like the sound of that.
Before we get into everything, please, everyone, if you have not yet, subscribe to this YouTube channel, hit the thumbs up on the video, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, give us a 5-star rating and review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. The TikTok from like 2 days ago or 3 days ago that we posted of me ranking the lines has got like 45K views on TikTok, and I am just getting absolutely trashed. So if you guys want to, in the comments, if you guys want to have a laugh, go over to that TikTok and just read some of the hate comments because I'm getting absolutely fried. Justin, there wasn't as much hate on yours, seemingly, which is interesting.
Clearly, just because my puck knowledge is just greater, I guess. My takes just spark no controversy whatsoever. I'm not the king of rage baiting like you are over there.
I know. That's the meta, though, is just pissing people off. And I feel like I want to make Tassos do one, although he's said that he's not going to. I think that's a coward's way out. I think he should make one. So let us know if you guys want to see Tassos doing a blind rankings video.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody wants to see that.
You don't think?
No.
I think the comments are going to be overwhelmingly in favor of you making one, but
they're always glazing them too. So I think, that'll probably go down well.
All right. Good show for you guys. A lot going on with the Blackhawks and around the league today. Well, I guess we'll start off with the Avs game from, was it Wednesday? I'm getting all my days messed up. Yeah, yesterday, Wednesday, or 2 days ago. I mean, I feel like we did a pretty good post game, honestly, even though we were all exhausted. I feel like if you guys have not listened to the post game from the Wednesday game against the Avs, go listen to that. Tassos and I streamed that game. But we'll do a little recap now. The Blackhawks were looking pretty good for most of that game, especially the first and second period. They found themselves up to a 2-0 lead. And then they blew that lead with, 10 minutes left?
I think it was 8 seconds left or something. Yeah, I think that was when Nate just tied it, 18 seconds, something like that.
Yeah.
I think for most of that game, they played really well. But yeah, another late Hawks blown lead. We haven't seen that at all this season, right? But that's a good Avalanche team right there. So I thought they held their own for the most part. Good game for the youth to kind of take something away and learn from. Good experience. Almost kind of have to go through those moments right at this stage, right? So a necessary evil to go through. So, but no, I thought for a Hawks loss, I think there are probably more positives to take away than negatives. Good game overall. But that is 4 losses in a row. The Hawks also struggled like past 60 this year. Like they're like 3-10 in overtime and shootout. Like this team isn't really built for that type of hockey. So wasn't really shocking when that game went to overtime. I already kind of felt like it was over. And yeah, unfortunately, weren't able to take away in the shootout. Yeah.
Why do you think they're so bad after 60 minutes on the 3-on-3 and in the shootout?
Well, I think we just kind of lack some of that star power at the moment, right? Like compared to other teams, it's we're young too, we're inexperienced, right? So maybe haven't been in those situations as much compared to other teams. Just in those tight situations, close quarter moments, like better teams are going to win those games than us. So I would probably hypothesize that's the reason why. Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's a plethora of issues.
yeah,
It's been frustrating, but honestly, like for the Colorado game, I was like, when Nate just tied it up with just a few seconds left, I was like, yeah, this is a loss. There's no way we're beating
yeah,
this team. I was pretty stunned that the Avs didn't score in overtime. To be honest with you,
yeah.
I just think the guy like. Bedsy, Nazar, insert young player who we have out there in the overtime. It's like these guys are all really fast, which is awesome for the 3-on-3. But I think every single one of them can get a lot better at protecting the puck. And I think that's like one of, if not the most important thing
Possession.
in overtime
Yeah,
is, the
yeah.
possession and just holding on to the puck for long periods of time and being able to go for changes and stuff while you're maintaining possession of the
Decision
puck.
making too, like not
Yeah.
staying out there too long, right? Not getting caught out. Like that's happened a lot, right? You just brought the changes, like where the Hawks have been cut out from that regard. They'll get like those 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s, and that's kind of where he loses those rush chances in overtime. I think a lot of it too is like finishing too. Like I think they'll get better from that standpoint and be able to close out these games. But I think it'll just come with time, with reps through experience. So not really a worry for me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you hope they kind of work on and improve on next year.
Yeah.
Obviously, like there's been some things like it's so funny that like the special teams this year has not been really a
Yeah.
problem at all. Um, and so hopefully, obviously, next year they can still be good at special teams, but then work on some of these things like the overtime and the shootout. Because I feel like like especially the shootout. I mean, the shootout is just like repetition and practicing it.
Yeah. It's
And
a
so
skills comp, right? Yeah. I mean, it's kind of random, but it's not like we don't have guys in this team who have talent and can finish, but probably less compared to other teams. Yeah. And also, a lot of these guys haven't been as many shootouts compared to others, so that could be a thing as well. Yeah.
And who shot for us on Wednesday? It was Donato, Bedard, and Teravainen. Is
That's
that the
correct.
three?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Tabo had the only goal there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see next year who our guys are. I know the shootout is becoming significantly
I'm surprised they
less
didn't throw
frequent.
Nazar out there.
I
Yeah.
know. Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
kind of the discussion I was going to bring up
Yeah.
is like next year. I would like to have like our three shooters.
hmm
Like
I feel like Betsy Nazar, it could be kind of a Kane Tays dynamic where they're always kind of 1-2 or 2-3, right? But I understood that too. Those are also like our three leading scorers is Donato, Bedard, and Tavo. So I can't really complain about that too much, that usage. But I think Nazar, he's just a guy who gets so many breakaways and hasn't really been finishing on them. But I feel like that's a guy who just would be good in the shootout eventually. Like we saw in that penalty shot goal against Utah a little while ago, right? Like I think he's going to be good in those situations. So might as well put them in them now and just kind of learn from them. Yeah.
yeah, I would like to see that. Like I
Yeah.
understand why you're having Donato and Teravainen shoot. Um,
He probably would have been the fourth, but we just didn't get there. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm just all for putting these kids, like we said on the stream when it was happening, like I would love to see Oliver Moore take a penalty shot here. Just because like we're at that stage of the season where it doesn't matter. I'd rather see the kids be put in these situations. But to be fair, like Teravainen,
To be fair.
like Teravainen is going to be here for a few more years, so it's not
Yeah.
like he's not going to be on the team next year or anything.
You would hope Ryan Donato would be too, but we don't know that for sure, do we? Yeah.
I think it's just like yeah. I hope we're able to make something work there with the contract situation, because if he ends up walking, it's just
And that's a
like,
failure of asset management right
Yeah.
there. And we were screaming at the deadline, right? And a lot of people were like, but he's had such a good season, right? Why not hang on to a guy like that? It's like, well, it's not a guarantee he's going to stay here if you don't trade him, right? So I think he's enjoyed his time in Chicago. He's fit in here like a glove. So I think he likes being a Blackhawk too, but it's like if the way he's producing, it's like he's probably going to want a bag as in term two, and like are the Hawks going to be willing to give that to him at this stage? Like that's going to be a question. I know we've had this discussion a lot in the show, but it just feels like the longer this goes on, like the more inevitable it seems it's going to be a summer decision. It's like it'll definitely be interesting to see what happens there, because I have seen his name. I think Scott Powers linked him to the Bruins if he doesn't resign with the Hawks. So it's like it's not like these things aren't out there, and there's a real possibility he's not a Hawk next year. Yeah.
what would be worse in your mind, him walking or us overpaying?
Well, I don't really care about overpaying. I think it would be more like you said, like if the term was like 4 or 5 years, right? If we pay him 5 million for like 2 years, like that doesn't really bother me. Like he's probably not going to be a $5 billion player the next 2 years, but it's like it's only 2 years, so the cap's going to be going up. But if this guy's going to be on our payroll for the next 4 or 5 years, like then I don't love it. Then that's probably a mistake. So then if he's asking for more than that, more than 5 billion, and like for like more than like I don't know 3 years or so, then maybe you're okay with just letting him walk if you're Kyle Davidson, right? But then it's like that still doesn't change the fact that's like, dude, like you couldn't have got something back for this guy at the deadline, like the way he was producing. I was saying it too. It's like how our team is not interested in this guy.
So you've said a lot. I feel like you've said it more than me that you really think that this is an outlier season for Ryan Donato. He's got 59 points in 73 games. If that's true, and like you think he's not going to be a $5 million player, like what do you see his production at next year? Because I don't think he's going to be in like. I think he's still going to be in a lot of the situations he was this year. Like I could still see him being on the first power play unit next year if he stays with the Hawks. Like he's still probably going to be playing top 6 minutes. What do you think his production's going to fall to? Like I don't think that. Like, I don't think this is a one season wonder. The reason why he's had this great of production is because of the situations he's been in on the roster. And I feel like at least for next year, he's probably going to be in the same spot. So like, I don't know about you. I don't see his production dropping off like 20 points. Like, I don't think he's going to go back to like, a 30-point season. Do you?
No, I don't think he's going to fall off a cliff, but do you really think he's going to match this production, though? It's like a lot of it depends on the moves you make in the offseason, right? In terms of if he'll be in these situations again. Like, I'm sure, worst case, I'm sure he'll still be on the second unit, for both power play, penalty kill, special teams, etc. But it's like a lot of it depends on, the moves you make, how this team looks next year. That might bump him down. But it's like the level he's produced at this season, you might just keep him in the top 6 anyway, assuming that that's just what he is now. But also, you have to look at like the PDO and like the shot percentage. Like, I don't think he's going to be shooting 19% or whatever it is again. So I could see him producing around 40 points. Like he's not going to have another 60 plus, 50 plus point season, maybe around that. But I'd say better than what he was doing before, which is around 30 points. So probably somewhere between maybe the 40-ish range. So, which would still be solid production, right? Like
Yeah,
that wouldn't be terrible. That's still a player worth keeping around. Like I've said this too. Like he could do a little bit of everything, right? He's more versatile than a guy like Bertuzzi is, right? It's not like he's just scoring, tapping, garbage goals, and that's like all he does. Like there's more that Ryan Donato brings to the table, so he's still worth keeping around. Like he's a guy who's 29 years old in the prime of his career. It's like that's a guy that's players love to, like in the locker room. Has the right work ethic. Good culture guy too, which is what we're trying to build here. So I think it sets the right example. So yeah, I think he still provides value, even if he's not producing at the rate he is now.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to score 30 goals next year, but like I think he'll score 20.
Yeah, he can do that. That's pretty doable. Yeah.
And like on a team that, I mean, we have 3 20-goal scorers on this roster. So yeah, I don't want to let one of them walk for nothing after you don't trade him at the deadline. But
well, we're at the stage, right, where it's like we don't have to trade every player who's productive for assets because we already have so many assets. So it's like we've kind of reached that stage where it's like if we have a guy who's producing, why get rid of him? Like we're trying to get better now, right? We're trying to climb, and you don't do that by trading away a guy like that for a 3rd-round pick. So yeah, it makes sense to keep him if you can extend him. But if you don't, then it's like that kind of was a flop. But we'll see. That's a summer problem. Yeah.
Something that I wanted to talk about that I guess we talked about for like a minute or two on the post game was that last face-off that happened with like 18 seconds left on Wednesday that Bedard lost, and then obviously Nature scored like 10 seconds after. I don't know. I heard some rumblings and some people upset, and I think the media like asked Sorensen about.
They did, yeah.
And I don't that doesn't make sense to me why people are upset about Connor Bedard taking that face off. Like they were like asking him like, what was the thought behind putting him, at the dot and then Donato off to the side to be like the second guy if Bedard gets thrown out. And it's like there's no question as to why Bedard took the face off. It's because you're trying to put your future, like the guy that's supposed to be your cornerstone piece, you're trying to put him in like the most important situations. And so like, for me, at least, there's no question as to like, oh, why wasn't Foligno or Donato? It's like, is that not like Are you not okay with that? Like, are you not for putting Connor Bedard in every single situation possible?
Yeah, I mean the logic there makes sense, right? But it's like there have been plenty of empty net situations this year where Bedard hasn't been out there in those late game moments, right? So it's like, why now, especially with 18 seconds left? Like I'd rather just, get the win. It's like even if he's not in that situation, it's like we don't even know. Like we've had this debate on this show too, where it's like we don't even know if he's going to be the 1C for us. So it's like he might not need to be the guy who's doing the draws in the future, especially if it's something he's still struggling with. So it is something like if he's going to be the 1C, he has to get better at, and you're only going to do that through reps and experience. So from that standpoint, I totally understand putting him in that spot, but it's like I don't know, like we've seen it this season. It's like, is that really the guy you want taking the drive in that moment? But look, when the season's already lost and you're not really playing for much, it's like I understand. It's like maybe it means more. It's more valuable to get those type of simulations in. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like even if it hasn't happened a lot this year and he hasn't been put in those situations a ton, I mean, you got to start somewhere. And the only way you can find out or know if he can be that guy that's going to be taking those big draws down the road is like he's got to do it. So,
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't really think too much of it, right? I think it makes sense. I can understand the argument for both sides. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I guess I'm saying that I don't understand the argument from the other side.
Oh, no, I mean, I do. I mean, it's like what, 38% or something. Like in terms of just that game, I understand the argument. Like,
But
best
what are
best
you trying
possible.
to get? What are you trying to get out of that game? What are you trying to get out of these last 7-8 games of the season?
Well, I
What's
mean,
like?
look, I think, look, it was a great, I think it was a solid game, Wednesday, but it's like you don't win it. You don't come away with the result. And the Hawks are what, like 1-9-2 in their last 12 games or something. So it's like, look, does win-losses record beat a ton at this stage? No, but it's like, that's a game too, where it's like, you don't want to keep blowing these games and losing all the time. It's like, I don't know if that sets, if that's great for the room, right? I think you want to get these W's late in the season, those morale wins for the club, for the youth. I just think, blowing a game like that late, I'm sure they're sick of it, and I just think that's a moment you want to avoid those situations as much as you can. So I think just getting the W from that standpoint, it makes sense. I mean, doing what makes sense to make that happen, right? Yeah.
Just feel like we came into this year saying that this year is all about development for some of these young players, specifically Connor Bedard. It's what the season was always about, and then after the deadline happens and everything, and we start moving all these young players in, the college season comes to a close. Like, wins and losses don't like you don't even want to win, technically speaking, right now. So I just like, if this is about
say that, but it's like, dude, the Sharks are the only team that's even in the same stratosphere as us. Like the Predators are like 10 points ahead. It's like we're pretty much guaranteed a top 4 pick right now. There's not really much of a tank race right now. You could argue with Sharks, it's like you'd rather finish behind them, 25.5% versus 13.5. If you finish last, it guarantees top 3, second guarantees top 4. But it's like also, too, like, do you want to be the last place team, though? It's like, yeah, it locks in the best odds, but it's like, there's something to be said for that, too. There's been this dilemma all year with the Hawks and Sharks, and they've been compared all season. It's like, I don't really know if I want to finish behind them. Maybe it gives us slightly better odds, but it's like we're guaranteed a top pick anyway. And, in terms of the guy I want, I think we could get him at 2 anyways. So I think I don't really worry about the tank right now. I think I just want to see good hockey. And, well, like you said, development as well. I get it, but it's like, it also doesn't have to be Bedard taking the draw there. It could be Nazar. It could be more. Like there's other young guys who could be put in that spot there, right? Doesn't just have to be him too. So yeah, I don't know.
I guess I just like this situation specifically. Like Connor Bedard walks away from that game thinking to himself, if he wins that draw, they win the hockey game. And like,
yeah,
I think that's a valuable lesson. Like I think there's positives there.
I think Bedard's had plenty of lessons this year. Like, I don't think he needs more things going wrong this season. Like, I think he gets it at this stage. Like, I don't know how many more. I think he's been in situations. Like, I don't know if like this one moment's gonna change much. Like, that, yeah, he needs to get better face-offs. Like, I think he knows that. I don't think that really changes it.
Well, no, but he walks away from it like, okay, I've now like after that situation, like, I know what the pressure's like when you're taking a draw in your own zone with just a few seconds left that you really need to win. And I know what it's like to lose it. Like, I think that's a positive.
I think we're overthinking this a little bit, but fair enough.
You guys want to hear some clips?
Yeah,
sure.
Let's hear Sorensen talk about the loss first.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they come at you in waves there. I thought we did a good job. I think obviously lots of power play there where they created a bunch of chances, got some momentum. But if you look at overall, I thought we did a pretty good job of keeping them at bay for sure.
What was the struggle on the power play tonight?
What's that?
The power play tonight, what was the struggle with that?
I think it was just a little bit of execution. We didn't, we had some opportunities to make the plays, and then they were there, and we didn't execute on them. Yeah.
There were some shifts in the second period where the young guys were just hemmed in their own end for 2 minutes at a time. Are there lessons they can take from that against a team like this, like how to avoid that situation, how to get out of that situation?
Yeah. I mean, that was a lot of the just making sure pucks get over lines in certain times. Right? I thought we turned them back a couple of times, and they checked us. They kind of got us pinned because of it. Right? When you have a chance to get a puck out, you got to live to fight another day at this level, especially against that team. Right? But overall, I mean, I think except those 2 shifts, I don't think the zone time was that bad, except those 2 shifts. So I mean, if we're going to look at all the negative stuff, those are 2 that we.
I mean, there's positives to take from that too, though.
Yeah,
right?
it's a learning experience. Yeah, get pucks out, make sure you win those lines, right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, that last question about I don't know, the way that guy phrased it made it seem like they were every single shift. These young kids were hemmed in their own zone. That was not the case.
I didn't really see that at all.
No. It was. I think it was really just like a couple of shifts. Like it happened a couple of times for sure. But I mean,
late in the game, yeah.
I mean, have you watched the Colorado Avalanche play before? Every single game they play, no matter what team it is, there's going to be a couple of shifts where Nathan McKinnon and Cale Makar are able to keep you hemmed in your own zone for like a minute. Like that's just. It happens. I do think I don't know, his response about the power play question was kind of like funny and interesting. He's like, yeah, there were opportunities to make plays there and we just didn't execute. And it's like, no, there weren't. Like, you didn't get into their zone at all. Like, there really weren't plays to make there.
Was he watching the same power play? And it's like, we see the same result for the last few games now. It's like, how many times do you have to see the same thing over and over again and think, okay, maybe we need to make an adjustment to the system here, to the break-in, to the combinations, literally anything. Like, how many games I've watched, it's like, why is Frank Nazar not in this first power play? Like, he's a guy who will solve that problem of breaking the puck in his zone. He's fast, good puck control. He can get the puck in. And that's what we've been struggling with. It's like, why have we still not noticed that? We could see it from here. How has he not seen it? So,
and Justin, that's my concern with the response was that he didn't even acknowledge the zone entries. He didn't say anything about
that was the main
entries.
problem. Like, it doesn't take an NHL coach to see that. Any fan could see it. I think everybody in the UC could see it. So it's like, if he's not seeing it, then, well, that goes to show, man. Like, if we didn't need any more validation that he's not that guy, pal. There we go.
Yeah, if your first unit is struggling for like a minute and a half on the power play to bring the puck into the zone, and then your second unit's coming out and doing it in 30 seconds, I think there's something you need to like take from that. No?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and who's on that second unit? Frank Nazar, right? Like, oh, maybe we should put him up there. Then Ward can do the second unit entries, right? Like, anything like that. So it's like, I think it's a pretty easy conclusion to make, but it seems like he hasn't quite figured it out yet. So we'll see tonight if there's any adjustments there. Probably not, because there hasn't been lately. Yeah.
And well, dude, and the only adjustments we've really seen to the power play is they change who's quarterbacking it. They change the defenseman. They haven't changed that forward group. Like, yeah, it's been the same guys. Like, Bertuzzi is completely useless as far as bringing the puck into the zone. We all know that. Yep. Ryan Donato is like not the fastest guy in the world. He's fast, but he's not like, he's not like Frank Nazar or like Ilya Mikheyev fast. But he doesn't really even take the puck in. It's pretty much always between it's always the defenseman brings it up the ice, looks for a drop pass to Tavo or Bedard, and then it's like Bedard and Tavo trying to play patty cake to get it across the blue line. And it's like it's just not working. And not only is it not working, but it just looks horrible. And I feel like that is a reflection of the coaching staff. It's like, do you guys not think you should maybe mix this up before, I don't know, your general manager starts asking some questions?
Yeah, it's like I love Bedsy, but it's like, he and Tavo, especially him, like not aren't particularly fast either. So it's like I don't know if those are the guys that want to carry the puck in the zone here, where it's like the defense, like I see it every time they're able to block it off, and it's like we spend, minute and 30 just trying to get in, and then the second unit's out there, they figure out right away. So that's probably what he's referring to. Source, he sees the second unit create chances the last 30 seconds. It's like, and that's what he's seen. Like the first unit's been shit though. So it's I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's just I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely like frustrating for us to be like, like, dude, just make this one like put Frank on that unit. Like you gotta try to mix it up in a season where we've seen so much change to the lineup every single night, pretty much trying to find out what works. It's annoying for that to not happen on the power play. It's like,
it just seems like such a clear, obvious decision to make. So it's like I don't really know what the holdup is there on that front. So it's somehow a power play still. I think it's still 9th or 10th somehow, which like I don't know how that's possible, but it is a reality. PK has been good too, so it's like it goes to show next year, man. It's like if we could just figure out even strength, then hopefully the special team stays the same. It's like there's a lot of room for growth there. It goes to show how bad our even strength play has been that we're second to last in the NHL. Yet we have 2 top 10 special teams. It truly has there been a team like that in recency? I don't know. I have to go back and look. It just seems kind of shocking. Pretty rare to see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a top 10 PK and Peeper, and then you get like decent goaltending. You just have to not be completely atrocious again 5-on-5, and you're going to see improvement, in the standings. Let's listen to Bedard on chances. He passed up on like a lot of good shooting opportunities yet again. So I think this will be a good clip to listen to.
They're a tough team to stave off for 60 plus minutes and everything, and they kind of feel like middle second period that things are kind of turning out there a bit?
No, I mean they had obviously some good shifts in the second, but that's going to happen. You're going to get hemmed around a little bit, so I don't think we were worried. I mean, we know they're going to make plays and get some looks, and obviously Nider was great. We got to do a better job at giving them less chances, but I thought we did decent.
What are the lessons that some of the new guys can take away from a game like this, where you do kind of hang with them, but get hit in your own net end for 2 minutes at a time sometimes?
I don't know. I mean, they're a really good team, and like I said, they're going to get their looks, and sometimes it's going to happen. I think just when you get a chance to get it out or whatever, obviously you have to. That's very magnified with teams like this. So I guess just kind of those details.
You seem frustrated on the power play a couple times. They're clearing it too easily. You guys just seem angry out there. What didn't go right on the power play?
I guess just execution probably.
Execution. Interesting. What's with the media? Like, what are these questions? Why are they? I don't know. I watched that game. They're focusing so much on those like 2 or 3 sequences that the Avs had where they kept the Hawks hemmed into their zone. And I think that's the only part of the game these media personnel watched. Why is that? Like, was that the first thing you noticed? Like that wasn't the first thing you said when you came on the post-game show the other night?
No, not at all. And it's like, dude, that's gonna happen against anybody. Like McKinnon, Makar could do that against the other best players in the world. Like, and you're a young team, you're gonna go through growing pains. Like, yeah, no shit, that's gonna happen. And honestly, I was impressed. Like, I thought the Hawks did a good job of like not making that the case all night. Like, I thought that was kind of outlier situations there late. So, like, it's a learning experience. Like, you're gonna go through that. Like, I don't see that as something to panic about or be grilling these guys in the post game. So, but yeah, execution, probably the main issue there, Betsy. Yeah, you can tell in his head, he's like, "What is this question, man?" Like, oh, that's him being diplomatic about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just focusing on the wrong things. It's like, dude, if we were just simply better at breaking the puck in on the power play, like that game could have been different. If we were able to score on one of those power plays, we would have won that game.
Right. That's the difference. Is the power play that game. Like, honestly, like which is weird because like normally it's been, normally the power play has been a positive, right? Normally even strength hasn't. But I thought, well, it wasn't just even strength though. I think it was the PK was the big difference maker for us too. Like we were perfect from that front, but it's like you get 3 power plays, you got to score on one of them. Yeah.
And it's not like I don't think the Avs even scored on any of those like possessions where they had the puck for like over a minute.
It's not like that we got punished for it. So it's like I don't know why they're festering so much about it. Yeah.
Like I would, if I was in the locker room asking these guys questions, I would be talking about the power play and then the sitting back, like the inviting them to attack you in the last however many minutes it was, where they
Yeah,
just,
we
like,
saw
not-
that like in the third period, like you said, I think it was the last 10 minutes there where it's like, and we've seen that a lot this season where the Hawks get these leads. That's not like they're big leads too, and they're against good teams. Like you can't afford to play like that. How many times have we said it? And it's like it's gonna come back to bite you like that. When they scored that, I think when Makar scored to make it 2-1, I'm like, oh god, I don't have a good feeling about this, right? Hanging on to this one goal for the last 10 minutes here, it's gonna be a tough task for this team, and we almost got there, but just got narrowly edged there, man.
Yeah, and I mean, you talk about, like, even the point you brought up, the little pushback you gave me for, like, not having Bedard take that last face-off. It's kind of the same situation where, like, these guys are not good enough defensively to, like, do the anaconda choke, like, get a small lead and then just hold on to it. Like, you're not the Florida Panthers. You don't have a plethora of guys in their primes that are just dogs defensively that you can hold on to a small lead. That's not the way that this team can protect leads. You got to go out and kill the game. And they had the opportunities with the power plays in the last the last 10 minutes, and they just didn't go for it. And so it's like, it hurt you. And I would just like to see them be, when you've got a lead with just like a few minutes left, be aggressive. Try to get that empty net goal. Try to score on that power play that you have with less than 4 minutes left. Like, that's what I think the narrative should be about. Like, that's what we should be talking about, not the couple of shifts that Nathan McKinnon, the second best player in the world, kept Oliver Moore hemmed in his own zone for 45 seconds because Oliver Moore just came from playing 21-year-olds in the NCAA, and now he's got to deal with fucking Cale Makar, the best defenseman ever, and Nathan McKinnon, one of the fastest players the league has ever seen. It's like, I don't know. It's just frustrating. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense to me. No.
Yeah.
You just gotta have more killer instinct. It feels like if I'm willing to bet the Hawks have the least amount of empty netters in the league. It's like they have so many situations to close these games out and finish, and they're just not able to do it. Like we saw this same situation early in season 2 of Luke Richardson. Like it feels like nothing's changed here. It feels like he's still behind the bench. Like Sorensen hasn't really provided much anything different here. I think a lot of it's just the staff's the same too. Like all the assistants are still here. So it goes to show. I brought this up before the show. It's like you can't just bring in a new head coach. Yeah, I want to see an entirely new staff here, right?
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Yeah,
it's the same habits. Like it's the same team. Yeah, even with all these young, like in terms of like the structure and all that in the system, it's all the same. Like even though it's a completely different lineup now than it was early this season, like literally is like half the team is different. Yeah. We have real Blackhawks here, and it's still the same shit. So it's like it goes to show how important the man behind the bench is. Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Let's listen to this last clip, Murphy, on challenges.
That have been pretty competitive and better than earlier this year, but just not getting results. And what's kind of your overall view of how the last few weeks have been?
I think guys are trying. The youth guys want to make an impression, and you see young guys and they come in for the first few games. They have that adrenaline, energy, and excitement, and that's nice to have it. It rubs off on the group for sure. But it's you want to win. You want to learn how to play the right way for extended amounts of time in the game, enough to win, and that's where as an organization we need to get to. But it is good to see that guys have the energy and they're not backing down from tough matchups and situations. You see, like a guy like tonight on the D, Brinzel having to play against McKinnon. That's not easy to do, and have to go in and just give what you have and try to grow and learn on the fly is something that's valuable for them this year.
It'd be pretty.
I think that's a really good. My mic cut out. I think that's a really good response from him. I appreciate that being his perspective as like a veteran on this team that is seeing all these young players come in. He's not like sour that, I mean, we have written here we're 1-9-2 in the last 12.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a guy in his position could be salty, and we've seen veterans around that age, veteran defensemen on this team get unhappy and complain. So it's good to see Connor Murphy not doing that, right?
Yeah, I'll give Murphy his due. I haven't really done it much this season. I know I've said before, I'm not the biggest fan, but it's like I do feel like I'm slowly but surely growing him a little bit here, maybe just doing this show and being like covering this team a little more in depth than the past. It's like I've maybe grown a new appreciation for Connor Murphy too, because like you said, I think Seth Jones, the guy you were referring to there, like we've seen.
What?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the guy you were bringing up. Like we've been veterans of this Hawks team like the last couple of years, and this crappy team that really haven't taken it well and have kind of had some salt too in their words, and it's like they want to leave, they don't want to be Hawks, because they're sick of losing all the time. But it's like Murphy's been here since 2017. Like he's been on some really bad Hawks teams the last 8 years, and I don't think he's ever complained about it. Like he just seems to have the right mindset, the right attitude. You kind of feel bad for him too, because he came in like 2017, right? That's kind of when this collapse started. Like he's never seen a winning Hawks team really. There was that bubble run, but that's about it. He's never really seen a true playoff run with this team the last 8 years. So, but he's never really seen. He's always had the right mindset. It seems like he's never really complained about it. Right? Just seems like a good mentor in the room. There's a reason he wears the A. Seems well liked. Good locker room guy. Good culture guy. So, and you know what? Like his play this season is actually like relative to what I've seen out of Connor Murphy the last 8 years. Might be one of his best seasons, maybe his best season as a Blackhawk. Honestly, like I think he's set a career high too of 19. Not that he's an offensive guy, but that shot from the point the other night, Wednesday that was a bullet. I want to see that more. It's like, man, I didn't know he had that shot in him. So, but no, he's been playing well too. So it's like when he's providing value on and off the ice, like okay, like next season's end of his contract might be his last year here, but it's like, you know what? I'll appreciate it. It kind of feels bad. I'll probably never get to see the fruits of his labor there, especially if all these young defensemen coming in. He's probably never going to see the light end of the tunnel here, but I think he's a guy who, can definitely be a good teacher, mentor for all these young defensemen on the Hawks for sure.
Yeah, I agree. And that's a guy that you're like, okay, it's good that he has the letter.
Yeah.
Just like, I mean, that was probably his best game of the year yesterday.
Honestly,
or on
yeah.
Wednesday, the goal in a 2-point night. And for him, to have that response and like understand what's going on and not be too like upset in the moment about a blown lead. I don't know. I appreciate that.
No, for sure. I mean, he's a guy who's worn the A, and it seems like he deserves the A. Like there have been other Blackhawks who've worn the A, and it's like, why do they even have this on their jersey, right? Like, they're saying the wrong things, but he seems to say the right things. So, seems to, not take it for granted. Unlike a certain past Hawks defenseman there who I will not say by name, but you know who I'm talking about. So, yeah.
I have no clue who you're talking about.
No, who could I possibly be referring to?
Okay, so the Blackhawks have Alexander Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals tonight in Washington, D.C. Ovi 3 away from the Wayne Gretzky goal record.
Are you ready, Lee?
Oh, my God.
Are you ready? Alex Ovechkin, the grade 8, chasing greatness. I say he does it. I say he drops a hattie tonight, breaks the record. I've been saying it. I can't go back on it now. Like, I can't. I got to stick to my guns here. And I have a funny feeling he does it. Games at Washington, too, playing this shitty Blackhawks team. He's on the verge of history here. At least he ties it. He scored 2, tie it. Maybe you break it Sunday. He's either going to tie it or break it tonight. I have a feeling it's going to happen. Yeah.
You want him to. You want him to.
Honestly, I do. Why not, man? This season sucked. It's like this would be something cool. It's like some people say, oh, we're on the wrong side of history. Bro, this Blackhawks team already gets shit on enough as it is. I don't think Ovechkin breaking a goal record really changes anything. Like, we get it. I just think it'd be a cool moment that just kind of transcends the game, right? That's an historical moment. He scored his 800th against us, too. I think he scored a hat trick that day as well to make that happen. So it wouldn't be the first time he scored a hattie to make history. And I also have a little bit of money riding on it too. So from that standpoint,
oh my gosh.
Not that I'm the biggest betting man, but I bet it last time and it worked out pretty well for me. So I think we'll see. That game was at Chicago though. This one's at Washington. So we'll see if that's a difference maker there. Gretzky's going to be in attendance. Bettman, I think they're going to be there. So we'll see, man. I think I doubt I could totally see it happening.
I doubt that's a bet you got from Andy Francis.
No, that was just me.
Spencer Knight's starting. You think he wants to be the guy that gives up a hattie to Ovi for the record?
No, which that I will say, like, I'd feel a bit better about it if it was Soderblom, and it's like I wouldn't really care if it was Soderblom too, because it's like we don't know if he's going to be a guy here. Like, he's had a better season, but it's like this could be a one and done. Like, he might not be a piece, right? With Spencer Knight, like, that's our boy there. That's our guy. So it's like I did think about it more today. It's like, do I really want to see him 1 and 3 goals tonight against Ovechkin? And like that could break confidence a little bit. He'll be on the wrong side of highlight reels for years to come. It's like there is something to be said for that from the Hawks perspective too. Like we've already been that side of history of Ovechkin. Like, do we want to see it twice? They've been hyping up it a lot too. Like I've been talking about this for a while, but now everybody's talking about it because obviously what else are you gonna talk about right now? So now from that standpoint too, it's like I feel like I'm kind of starting to question it too. Like, do I really want it to happen? Like, wow, it'd be cool for Ovechkin and for the game and all that for history. Here's another thing too. If he made it happen tonight, I think he would make it happen with one game ahead of Wayne Gretzky. So there's that as well. I think there's something for him to think about there. I think if he did against Islanders, it'd be the exact same time in terms of games played. So,
yeah, which is crazy.
So basically, like I think perfect scenario probably is he drops one, he drops two today, ties the record. The NHL can glaze that and milk it over the weekend, and then he breaks it against Islanders. So at least we're not on the wrong side of the goal that really matters there. Like if he scores the game tying goal, like not the game tying, the Gretzky tying goal, 894, drops 895 Sunday. That's probably the perfect situation, I'd say. So we'll see if it happens. I do think it's going to happen this weekend though. Whether it's against us or the Islanders on Sunday, it feels like it's going to happen. Yeah.
Okay, but so he's 3 away from the record, 4 away from breaking it, or he's 2 away from the record, 3 away from breaking it.
The second one.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think that's maybe a motivator that's being used by Anders Sorensen and the Blackhawks team? Is like, hey, let's not be the team that gives this up, because like. I was just watching Pat Maroon went on Morning Cup of Hockey. I was telling the boys in the studio this earlier today. And Johnny Laz was like, that'd be kind of cool if you were like out there and they were like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, you think any NHL player is like, yeah, I want to be the guy that gets scored on for Ovechkin's, all-time goal-leading goal. Like, that's not, none of these guys want that to happen. So hopefully it's like they can use it as a bit of an edge or something, no?
Well, if we're relying on Sorensen to be a motivator, then I think we're. I don't think it's going to go well. But there's something to said for that too. Like I've seen Ovechkin's 800th goal about 1,000 times, and in that goal, Patrick Kane just goes flying in the background every time. So now every time I want to rewatch that goal, I have to suffer through that. So it's like if it's something embarrassing happens in that goal, where it's like I don't know, he dekes through Bedsy or something, or like puts Knight in a whirlwind. It's like, is that really something I want to see for the next for the rest of my life there? So it could be something funny to look back on though. It's like in a few years where it's like, I don't know, we're in the playoffs every year contending for cups. It's like, hey, remember that shitty 24-25 season when Ovechkin scored the goal record against us? Like at least that was kind of fun. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it there.
Yeah, maybe
it's a historical moment. But think about us talking about it, man. Like we'll be with our kids one day and we'll be like, yeah, so 2025 Chicago Hockey Radio, Blackhawk Meme Show. No, I was on it too. Yeah, I was there too. We covered Ovechkin breaking the goal record against our Blackhawks. That was before we really got big there and before the team was successful. But we came a long way after that moment. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it.
Justin, I think that if the highlight of this year for you was Ovi breaking the record against us, if that's what you're telling your kids about from this year, then I think we did something wrong this season. But
like respect, like that's my
no, I know what you're saying.
Respectfully, like in a few years, like what about this season are we going to look back on fondly? Absolutely nothing. Like this is the most forgettable season of Blackhawks hockey probably in a while, and like it's going to be, like especially when we're successful. Not if, when we're successful. Manifest destiny here. I think it'll be a funny season to look back on, kind of a blip there. So it's like at least we'll have something to remember, right? But maybe that's the point. Maybe people want to forget this season, so it's like if Ovechkin scores, the goal record, we kind of won't forget it for that reason. If that makes sense, right? It'll just be something that keeps us up at night. I don't know. Yeah.
Before we get into the Reichel situation, I just want to say the Washington Capitals are minus 380 favorites. They are probably the biggest favorites, I'd imagine, on this slate of games today.
Oh, yeah, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, there's only 3 games tonight. So,
classic
NHL
there.
Friday. Yeah.
Makes no sense. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like don't get me wrong, the Blackhawks have been really bad, and the Washington Capitals are like possibly going to win the President's Trophy, but they haven't been that great as of late. The Capitals have been the Capitals. Like they've dropped games to the Sabres in Minnesota and some like unimpressive.
The Hurricanes too. I think last game, like it was like they lost like 4-5-1 or something like that, but Ovechkin scored, so it was a win. So it's like that'll probably be the case today too. If what you're bringing up there, if the Hawks somehow upset the Capitals today, which to be fair, the one time they played the Capitals this year, they did beat them. That was that December comeback there. We haven't seen a lot of Hawks comebacks this year, but that was one of them. So it could happen. It's like there's something to play for too. Like it's like that could be the President's Trophy winning team, either them or the Winnipeg Jets. It's like you could say you swept them this year. So there's something to play for there. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess there's not much to talk about. I just thought that is a little bit of an overvalue for like how the Capitals have been playing as of late. Like there's
it feels like they're playing more for Ovechkin's record than anything. Like they're already in the playoffs.
Yeah,
they already
which is
got
fair.
the seat. They already got the seating figured out. Like I think there's a gap. Like they're going to be first in the Eastern Conference division. So it's like there's really not much to play for them. So maybe that also benefits the Hawks. It's like if they're so focused on Ovechkin, where I've been watching these Capitals games, it's like every time he's on the ice, it's like that's all they're not even caring about what the other team's doing. They're just focused on where Ovechkin is, get him the puck, get him the record. Like that's what they're playing for right now. So maybe for the Hawks, that's something you can take advantage of tonight.
Yeah, that's I just like I think if you're including Washington money line in a parlay, you're a fool at minus 380. That just does not seem like a wise bet in my mind. Yeah, let's some of the more disappointing news of the day. Lucas Reichel is scratched tonight because he missed a meeting, and so Philip Kershev's filling into the lineup for him. Dude, what are we gonna do with this kid?
This is just so sad, man. Because like if you've been watching the show, like I've been dying on this hill all season. Like I've been doing everything possible to defend this kid, to defend Reichel. Like I'm still a believer in him, but it's like then you go and do something like this. Like, dude, like last game, Oliver Moore comes in, right? It's the second game of the Hawks, and Reichel, he's been stapled to the fourth line all season. Finally gets a promotion, gets to play with Oliver Moore. Probably, it looked pretty good there, right? Finally gets rewarded. And this is what you do. You miss a team meeting there. It's like, okay, yeah, there's 7 games left this season. Who cares, man? Like, this is everything to play for here. You got to search yourself right now. Prove that you're a part of this thing. And it's like, and if you're missing team meetings and setting a bad example, bad habits, it's like you're not taking this thing as seriously as you should. It's like, I see that, man. It's like in just the way he's been utilized this season, playing 10 minutes every game, no trust, fourth line all year. It's like maybe there's a reason for it. Maybe there's things we're seeing that we're not seeing with him, right? Off the ice, etc. Like I don't know, like what his work ethic is like. I'm not going to question it, but it's like, it doesn't look good when you're missing team meetings, man. Especially at this stage. It's like, it just sucks because I've been defending this guy. I still believe in the skill, what he can be as a player, but just the longer and longer this goes on, man, just it seems inevitable that it's whatever his future is, it's not going to be here. Like there's more and more young guns coming into this team, right? Who've been playing well, and it's like this is 2 years of kind of the same thing here. A lot of coaches and nothing's really changed. It's like I think he has 1 year left in that deal there, bridge deal.
I think they're going to try to trade him.
It feels like it sucks. I'm stubborn. Like I hate admitting when I'm wrong about something, and I know there's going to be certain people who are going to be like, "Hey, what happened with Reichel?" It's like I don't know. I could totally see it though, where it's like wherever he goes, I could totally see him flourishing because I still think there's a lot of skill, a lot of talent there. But it's like there's just been something that's been missing with him with this Hawks team. It just feels like it's gonna be done at some point here.
Yeah, dude. Like I'd imagine this kid probably feels like the coach hates him. Just because of like the situations that he's been put in and how he's been stapled to that fourth line all year long. From Richardson now into Sorensen, and like these guys obviously do not trust him the way they trust other young players on the team. So I'd imagine that's frustrating. But it's like, dude, the first game you get moved up to the third line. You miss a fucking team meeting like the next day. It's like,
God bless it, man. Yeah, there's something except that you brought up there where it's like he sees that he's been in these situations all year. It's like it doesn't really seem to matter what he does. He's in the same spot, but it's like the fact that it happened right after he's finally moved up kind of changes that narrative a little bit. So it's too bad, right? Like it sucks. Yeah, that's a guy I've been cheering for. Like I like Lucas Reichel. I want to see him succeed here, but I've been defending him a lot. So it's like when you go out and do something like that, it's like, ugh. Like it's not that's not nothing, right? It's it might be a moment there where it's like a last straw situation. I could be overthinking it, right? But it wouldn't be shocking just the way he's been utilized this season that this could be it for him. I hope not, but hope he uses it as a learning experience. But I don't know, man. It doesn't.
I agree with because like it'll be interesting to see what Sorensen does with them for the last few games of the season. Like,
does he drop back in Sunday, or is he just in the doghouse the rest of the year?
Is he going to slide back into the third line on Sunday? I probably guess no right now.
No, probably not. No,
but yeah, like if is he just going to keep scratching him then for the rest of the year? And if that's the case, then I feel like there's a good chance he gets moved this summer. Maybe.
Which is funny because the guy who draws in from Phil Kershaw, like he's probably in the same boat there. So both of those two are going to be the change of scenery merchants, I would imagine, this offseason. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, maybe a last-ditch opportunity for Philip Kershaw to
literally his last moment there.
it's
He's hardly been playing. It's over. It's done. It doesn't matter what he does.
Yeah,
So
it's
this
not even
little bit.
last chance you for Philip Kershaw. He's had like 8 last chance use this year, and he's not delivered. So, I mean, hopefully just for Oliver Moore's sake and Landon Slaggert's sake, hopefully that line is not atrocious tonight.
Oh, yeah, I don't have a good feeling now because it sucks. I did like what I saw from that line, last game, and now it's like you're a guy who's had just a terrible season, absolutely no confidence whatsoever. That's just a third line that it feels like it's going to get cooked. I feel bad for Oliver Moore there, right? Makes his situation a lot more difficult too. So we'll see. Maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised, but the bottom 6 tonight looks like it's going to get absolutely demolished. Like our chances tonight rely on the top 6, and night balling out. Yeah.
All right, fellas, we're up against the clock a little bit. We got Brennan Vogt on the other side. Do you guys want to go to break, or you guys can finish your thoughts here?
Well, one positive thing though, I do like that Korchinski draws back in tonight. That's good. Good to see him back in the lineup. That's about it for this game. Hawks play the Pens on Sunday. That's the other weekend game. So they play a couple legends this weekend, right? Ovechkin today, Crosby Sunday. So I think they play the Pens another time too. They left both their games at the end of the season here. So, but yeah, that's a team that hopefully can maybe take advantage of a little bit Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we'll hit a break, and then we got Brendan Vogt on the other side talking NHL stuff. So, and Colorado Avalanche stuff, obviously too. So keep it here. We'll be back in a sec. All right, welcome back. Chicago Hockey Radio NHL Hour. Lee Grossman, Justin Lynch, Tassos Kirkos on the 1s and 2s. We have a special guest, Brendan Vogt, joining the show here for the NHL Hour. Going to do some Avs talk. He covers the Avalanche for Hockey Mountain High. He also covers the Eagles and the University of Denver as well. So a lot to talk to him about today. First things first, how are you doing, sir?
It's been a hectic week. I'll say that.
Yeah, and so you were just telling us a little bit that Cale Makar's brother was supposed to be practicing for the Eagles today, and you were trying to get there?
Yeah, so he is he signed a 1-year entry-level agreement with the Avalanche, and so he is reported to their AHL affiliate, and we will be there on an amateur tryout agreement for the rest of the year. Whether he'll actually play is a different story, but based on the hype, I'm imagining he's probably going to get a game or two at least.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen much of his tape, to be honest with you. Is that a guy that you think can make it at the NHL level?
4th liner, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got some good skill. He's very he's about 6'3", 210, 215 pounds. He's thick. Let's put it that way.
Okay. He's a big boy.
Yeah, he can hit. He'll lay out if he has to. But his scoring has definitely improved in the last year. He doubled his points with the move from UMass to Maine. So he went from 12 to 30 points in the last year. He was also getting a lot more ice time with Maine because he was a top liner there. So like a top 6, top 3 there. So
how isn't he like 24 or 20?
Yeah, he went all 4 years with. Okay. Yeah, so he went with all 4 years with college. He had to sign by August 15th, or the Avalanche were going to lose their rights with him.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, you know the NHL loves their brothers storylines. What were you about to say, Justin? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh yeah, no, I just think it'll be cool to see him hopefully make his debut at some point, with his brother there at the end of the season, just play a game, for the hell of it. But speaking of his brother, how about the other night, hits 30 goals, first defense since Mike Green, I believe, to hit that marker. What do you see out of him this season? Think he's going to win the Norris again? Yeah.
Well, I'll say my fantasy team definitely loves Kale.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I say he's a Norris, but I may be a little bit biased. But I when you're in the conversation with Bobby Orr and the players like that, how can you say that this guy doesn't deserve it? He's got footwork, in my opinion, that's better than those players. He's more dynamic than those players, and he's more of a two-way player than Bobby Orr and Paul Coffey and when you bring that kind of stuff up to him, all he does is just blush and try and slide it off. It's kind of funny, but he's very modest about being compared to those type of players. It's kind of weird.
Do you think he's the most talented defenseman ever?
He's only 26. So yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a long way to go, and he holds almost every franchise record for defensemen in the for the Avalanche.
Yeah. That guy's an absolute beast.
Yeah.
Pivoting over to the University of Denver, how do you feel about them heading into the Frozen Four here?
It's been a rough trip the whole year. They started out with a really good non-conference play when at the beginning of the season. And then once they started once they started in NCHC play, it got really rough, starting with Arizona State. So I'm actually kind of surprised they beat them in the conference play. Western Michigan beat them in OT. So this coming weekend is going to be tough. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to overtime, if not double overtime in this case, because they're going to know what to expect with them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. This is obviously a Blackhawk show, and we need a coach in Chicago next year, because we have Anders Sorensen, who is he's just an interim. He's a placeholder. It's very temporary, nothing long term. We've thrown the idea out on this show numerous times that David Carl could be a potential fit here. That's a guy that, honestly, he's first on my list.
Yep.
Do you think there's any chance he'd leave Denver? And if there is, would it be this season, or do you think he wants to stay there for a little while?
He's got lots of roots in Denver. He played at Denver. His brother played at Denver. He's been a coach at Denver. So it's going to be difficult to pull him away. I know that he was in the running for the Boston head coaching job when Montgomery got it.
Yeah.
His former head coach above him. So, and then we both saw how that went. But that wasn't a Montgomery problem in Boston. That was definitely a team problem, because we've seen what he's been doing in St. Louis.
Yeah,
he's been a beast.
Yeah, he's turned it around. Honestly, St. Louis is like one of the hottest teams in the league right now, and I feel like a lot of that has become because of Montgomery.
Yes.
Sorry, but continue.
Oh no. As Montgomery would say, trust the process.
Yeah.
That is like his classic saying, is trust the process. Actually, I think that's how he says it. But it's a thing that leads back to the 2017 national championship. But Carl, I think he's got the mindset, he's got the attitude, he's got the experience. He was he was drafted by Tampa Bay in the long run. He knows what he's doing. If it weren't for his heart issue, he would have played in the NHL himself. So it's not like he's a slouch when it comes to hockey. So yeah, he's won 2 championships already by himself, at least.
Yeah.
So he knows what he's doing. He's ready for the next step, in my opinion.
Sticking with Denver here, Aiden Thompson's been one of your top producers over there. Hawks prospect. what have you seen out of him? You think he could be a solid player in the NHL? I know he's a bit of an overager there, but I know he's been cooking over there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's Fort Collins native too. So he grew up just outside of where the Colorado Eagles play. But yeah, he's a little small.
Yeah.
So he may have to mature a little bit in Rockford for a first year or two in his contract if he ends up, signing with Chicago. He's got some skill. He's got some hands. He knows when to find the slot. He knows where to find the open spaces. He's very good at that. But a lot of the credit has to go with the talent around him.
Yeah.
If he's got the talent around him, which I don't know if Rockford and Chicago can provide that right now, he's going to succeed. We've seen how Chicago's doing right now with Bedard. So, can Bedard succeed? Yes and no. If we throw Aiden Thompson right next to him, it may be a little bit of a struggle bus for a while. So we'll have to see. But he's got to bulk up a little bit first. College is definitely different than the NHL game.
Okay, interesting. Good to know. Focusing now a little bit on Avalanche land and that kind of stuff. I was just listening to the 32 Thoughts episode that dropped today with Elliot Friedman, and they were talking about the potential return of Gabe Landeskog, and Elliot kind of threw out as a complete guess and a hypothetical that he could see Landeskog possibly returning for Game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. I know this has been a long road back for Gabe Landeskog. It feels like we've been hearing that he might be coming back for like a year and a half now.
Yeah, talk. Yeah.
Do you have any insight or any personal hypothesis or guesses that you think he could be making his return?
Well, I've been watching him since day one from this process. When I was with the different outlet, I had the opportunity to see him get on the ice and post surgery, before surgery actually, and things like that. So I've literally watched him go from hardly being able to push off on that leg to doing these nasty cuts that he's able to do right now. So watching that process, it's like watching a little kid learn how to skate again. It's actually pretty cool, but it's especially since I have a 5-year-old who's literally trying to do the same thing.
Oh, nice.
I mean, that's really the only comparison that I've got is, okay, I've got my 5-year-old trying to do the same thing as what he's doing. And of course, he's doing it at a greater rate because
he's better than your 5-year-old.
Oh, well, God,
really?
It's Gabe freaking Landeskog. So, I can't see him dropping right into Game 1 of a playoff situation.
Yeah.
Well, first off, the Avs are going to play on the road. So we know that for sure with the seeding, with the way it is. There's a good chance that they're going to play in Dallas or in Winnipeg because Dallas has actually a small window to catch up with Winnipeg and jump them in the standings right now. But the Avs aren't going to start on the road, and I doubt, as much as Landy wants to play, he's not going to want to start his return in Dallas or in Winnipeg. No one wants to start their return after 3 years on the road.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
And what it would do for the hype situation in Game 3 to One Ball Arena, the fans, and to blow that roof off of the top of that arena, and then for the team when they announced from Stockholm, Sweden,
oh my gosh,
number 92,
first time in 3 years. Yeah.
Oh God, I get chills just thinking about it.
Yeah, that place will explode.
Yeah, I'm just a tiny bit of a Gabe Landeskog fan.
We can tell.
I mean, I watched his first game in play when he was in a preseason, and I've watched him ever since. So he's one of my favorite players. I've had a chance to talk to him once because I started reporting on the team and had credentials when he just got injured.
Oh.
So I got to ask him one question and stuttered my way through it.
Well, fair enough. I mean, he's a dog, and yeah, I'm sure they're hoping that he can. That would be such a boost, and I think you're right. That would make more sense to like even just like push him back a little bit, give him a little bit more time, and then make his return on home ice. I mean, that arena is going to be on fire. It'll be interesting to see also like if he does make the return. I don't know how.
Where does he slide in?
Where does he slide in? But also, like, how good do you think he could possibly be after taking this much time off?
Well, he's already taken a tiny bit of. Excuse me, sorry. He's already taken a bit of a bit of contact with the power play units earlier in the week. How he's been able to like recover from it is completely unknown because he's not talking to the media at all. But he was back on the ice the following day in an optional practice, so that's encouraging. But he's got to get to full contact. We need to see him in a scrimmage situation where he's taking full contact first. Once he does that, I'm fully on the hype train. I'm like 1 foot on right now, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, tempering expectations a little bit.
Yeah, it's like I've talked to other players who've had very similar situations that have happened, be it knee surgeries or other type of surgeries that have happened. And they're like, it was tough for me to come back and I didn't have the resources. So he's had a ton of resources and backing to try and get it back into the play. Nobody's had this type of backing in order to get back into a game like this. So it's unknown. And Lamar Ball he's the only comparison we have right now for the Bulls.
Oh yeah, Lonzo,
yeah. Lonzo Ball or Lamar Ball, I can't remember. But
Lonzo, you're right. He it was like a similar situation. I think Lonzo actually had like 2 knee surgery. I'm not the biggest Bulls guy.
He had the same exact surgery as Landy. And then Landy's had, I think they both have gone down the same path, except Lonzo was 2 months ahead of time. I'm not a shooty hoop guy, so I couldn't tell you. Heck, when CSU went to the tourney, I had no idea.
I'm not a basketball guy either. No,
I'd also, but I'd imagine like if a guy can come back from it in the NBA and basketball, I'd imagine you'd be able to do it in the NHL. I feel like basketball is just so brutal on your knees. Not that hockey isn't, but
I was going to say.
Yeah, no.
We'll see. I think hockey might be more difficult from that perspective, actually. But transitioning a little bit here. Right now, you guys will be playing the Dallas Stars and Mikko Rantanen in the first round of the playoffs. How do you feel if the Avs going to the playoffs about that matchup? And have you guys moved on from the Rantanen situation? Like, is there still some bitterness there? Like, how are you guys feeling about that? Yeah.
Well, we're always going to compare Natchez to Rantanen at this point because they're always going to be connected. And Natchez is right now he's injured. A Blackhawk sat on his face, so
he dove face first and
well, and then the Blackhawk sat on him. I'm not blaming the Blackhawk, but I mean things happen. But so right now we're down Natchez, but Natchez has performed better. But it's just he's Rantanen's in a good situation. I can't blame him for doing the signing where he did it because Texas has no state tax. So he's going to gain something like 3.5 or 3.2 million more just by signing there compared to here. Our state tax are like 8%. It's insane.
Yeah. But are the fans still? What's the sentiment with him? Like, are fans upset with him? Like, I don't know. We've talked about it pretty extensively on the show, and I feel like from his perspective, did he not get blindsided a little bit from the Avs organization and sent to Carolina, or were there conversations, and was he aware that was like going to happen?
Well, see, we're getting both sides of the story, so it's hard to believe who's right. if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not like saying, oh, Chris McFarland's wrong. And I'm not saying that Mikko Rantanen's wrong. We have to take both sides of the story with a grain of salt. So, you know, I can't say that Mikko was blindsided completely. It's like, dude, you this isn't the first time that you've negotiated your contract and then not shown up. Because the last contract that he had, he didn't show up to or the last time he tried to negotiate his contract, he missed almost all of training camp. So it's his agent that's doing all this, and they just were like, we're done, sorry, bye. So I think that for him to say that he was blindsided, not so much.
Okay. Do you feel as though the team is better now, like with the additions they've made? I mean, Marty
Natchez just fit in like a glove there.
but
yeah.
then not even just Natchez, but obviously the signings at the deadline. Do you feel as though the team is in a better spot now than if they had kept Rantanen?
I think that the goalies are. I mean, God, you've seen what Georgiev has done in San Jose, but it's San Jose.
Yeah.
So and they're gonna always be at the pit right now. Kovalenko hasn't done very well over there either, even though he's gotten top 6 time. And then we've gotten Ryan Lindgren, who has done nothing but excel since he's jumped from New York to here. And everybody was saying he was complete hot garbage, and I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, he looks pretty good.
Yeah, so it's like, well, you're playing him on a top pairing over with Adam Fox, and he's not a top pairing defenseman.
Yeah.
He's the middle pair or the bottom pair. Face it. So I think New York was misusing him, just like who was it? Misused Calgary or misused Tyson Berry. Toronto misused Tyson Berry when they got him, and then they complained he was no good. It's like, well, you guys need to learn how to use him.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, not everybody's a first pairing guy.
Yeah. And then getting rid of Casey Middlestat, who was just an empty void at second at the second center.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't producing. He was going literally weeks without even getting an assist. So why did we even have him? And getting Miles Wood out of the lineup. Nothing against a guy who can hit and be an agitator, but what's he producing?
Mm-hmm.
So right now the Avalanche need producers. They need assists. They need goals. They need to win games with pucks in the back of the net, not just by hitting. So I think all the additions were just exactly what they needed. They should have been done at the beginning of the season, but I'm not the GM.
Stick F awards talk here. We talked about Makar in the Norris conversation. How do you feel about McKinnon's chances of going back to back of the Hart there? Yeah.
Well, he is leading. Well, last I checked, he was leading the league in points. He hasn't missed a game. Well, has he missed a game? I can't remember. I don't think he's missed a game. Draisaitl just got injured, so that's going to only increase his chances. And then I think it's going to be very good that he's going to win it, and he's going to win the Rocket, in my opinion. But it will be his first one. Thank God, he needs it. So, all that quinoa pasta is going to pay off. So,
yeah. How about that diet he uses there? Yeah,
I've heard it's like the strictest diet that you can ever imagine. But you know what? If I could skate like that, I wouldn't complain either. So,
no, fair enough.
Quinoa pasta. I have not heard about the quinoa pasta bit.
You've never heard about this?
No.
Yeah. Look up Zadorov's interview. Nikita Zadorov. It was when he was with the Flames. He did an interview with like a Russian outlet, and he talked about like how strict McKinnon was and trying to change everyone's diet in the locker room and trying to change everyone's attitude towards playing and everything like that, with respectfully so. I mean, the guy wants to win a Stanley Cup, and this was all before 2022, of course, but and it just became this big joke.
Oh.
So
damn. I'm gonna have to tap in with that story. I've not seen you said the interview was in Russian though.
it was a Russian outlet,
Okay.
so you kind of like you have to take it with a grain of salt, of course, and translations iffy and things like that. But
How do you have a preference of who you would rather see have the Avs face in the first round between Dallas and Winnipeg? Do you think there's of those two teams maybe one you feel they match up better against, one that you've beaten in the past?
I strongly dislike Jamie Benn, but that's just my personal opinion. Well, he knows how to play playoff hockey.
Mm-hmm.
So, and when it comes to playoff hockey, he knows how to get in the corners. He knows how to play dirty and get away with it. He's done it several times to the Avs, including in the bubble, where he'd go in, he'd slew foot you, and then get away with it. But it's playoff hockey. They're gonna put the whistle away. So, we saw what the Avalanche have done to Winnipeg in the past. They've struggled with Dallas in the past as well. So, if it were up to me, it'd be Winnipeg. But Winnipeg has just been such a powerhouse this year. It's hard to say.
Yeah. Either way, it's a tough round for sure. Yeah.
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 If the Avalanche are to like get through Dallas and Winnipeg, and be able to go for a run at the Cup, what are the storylines? What are the things that need to happen in order for that to be the case?
Landy needs to come back.
Okay.
I think Landy will be the ultimate pusher. So if Landy comes back, then those guys are going to be unstoppable.
Rally around him.
Yeah, that's going to, and it all leads, if you think about it, this docu-series that is on TNT every week, it ends right before the playoffs start.
Ooh.
And I think it's me and a lot of other writers and fans in the Colorado space that think that he's going to make an announcement on that last episode.
Oh,
that he's back. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
that's
it's
what's
gonna
leading
be
up
like,
to. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, honestly, I think the last words you're going to hear is going to be, "I'm back, baby." And then it's just going to fade to black. And you're just going to be like, "I'm going to run through a wall," or something like that.
Doing his best MJ impression. Yeah.
That would be electric. And I'm sure the league would love that too.
And that's what I think. That's why I think the league is promoting this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They know he's going to be back.
Yeah. Why they're allowing this type of thing to happen, and why they're allowing this type of access for this production company to do this for the last 3 years. Because normally this stuff doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't see this type of access. And so the fact that he's made this type of progress, now this document series comes out, he's done all these interviews in the last month and a half. He's been dead silent for the last 2.5 years. And all of a sudden he goes on to Spit and Chicklets. He goes on to the local broadcasting channel for Altitude. And then this thing ends right before playoffs. Kind of gets you thinking.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, that'll be electric. Do you have any insight or any updates? What have you heard about the Natchez and the Druin injuries?
Druin is lower body. I have not heard anything on a timeline. In fact, I missed it because I was trying to write a summary. So, Natchez, I would imagine that it's more just soreness. I've never dealt with a neck injury myself. It's always been lower back for me. But
because he came back in that game too. It even scored the game tying goal with 8 seconds left to beat us there. Probably not that bad for him. Yeah.
Well, so did Andrew Colgato, and he broke his neck literally.
Yeah. Fair enough.
It was the next day that he felt it.
Yeah. It might be adrenaline. Yeah.
It's always the next day that you feel that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I played hockey for 10 years and I can talk from experience on that. So,
Fair enough.
So Natchez, I would think would be day to day, God knows with Druin. So, he's been out a couple times this year, so it's hard to say.
I would say a guy that seems to be such an X factor for that Avalanche team, like when he's in and out of the lineup, it makes a big difference to the team. Is Valeri Nichushkin? Like, could you speak from experience at that? Like, how important is he to the Avalanche? Yeah,
How important he is?
yeah,
Oh, extremely important. He's more
Yeah.
than a point per game player. So
Yep.
when he's in the lineup, he turns the forecheck around. And then you put him on the ice with an overlapping forecheck of Logan O'Connor on the fourth line. Ugh, it's just a dangerous concept. So, and then if Lehkonen happens to get on the ice at the same time, you've got a constant forecheck coming. And the way that he can turn a corner and just kind of barrel through you, he's tall and lanky.
Yeah.
And powerful.
Yeah,
So,
it's a power forward right there.
for sure.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
need those guys in the playoffs. Yeah,
Oh yeah, and the fact that he's willing to skate through like a broken foot during the playoffs,
man,
nobody can do that.
Yeah, dog.
built different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brennan, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. You've been super generous with your time. Justin, did you have anything else you needed to get off your chest and ask him?
No, I echo those sentiments. Oh, I will say I've been to Colorado a few times. One of my favorite states to go to. Big into hiking there and skiing. Yeah.
I wish I had time for it.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's a hell of a state. Yeah, thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Oh, my pleasure, guys. Thanks for having me.
We appreciate it, Brennan. Take care. All right. That was Brennan Vogt from Hockey Mountain High. Nice little treat. We appreciate him coming on, talking to us about a cup contender, realistically, probably one of the bigger contenders, one of the better teams in the West. Dude, that's the thing with the Avs, though. It's just that absolute gauntlet they have to get through. That's like the only reason why that team's like realistically not my favorite out of the West.
Yeah, I will say though, like it's something I hadn't really thought about until like, we just brought him on, where it's like I've never really considered Landeskog actually coming back. I feel like we've been hearing about this for so long. There's been so much talk about it, but it's like, man, if he does, like that's such an X factor type of thing where it's like that team, that could be a storyline where it's like they rally around this guy and that could be kind of like the driving force between them, going back and obviously they won that cup in 2022 in the lineup, but just even if he's like half the player he was then, like that's such a big difference maker for them. So it is a tough route. Like that's going to be probably their undoing if they don't win the cup this year. But it's like just the fact they've been there, done that. That team's firing on all cylinders. You can't not consider them a favorite, even despite the tough route. If anything, it could be good for them, right? It's like you play. And sometimes it can come back the other way too, where it's like a team that's played those tougher matchups in the playoffs has played, can match up better against a team that's had an easier route. Sometimes it's sometimes it could go back the other way too, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
You know who I feel like we haven't really heard much from? He hasn't met his word quota yet. Tassos, do you think that Gabe Landeskog coming back into the lineup for the Avs is more about kind of boosting morale, or do you think he's actually going to be able to, compete?
Contribute?
Is he going to be on the top line? Like,
it's actually me. Tassos had to take a phone call during the end of the interview.
Raven, what do you think?
Hey, Raven, what do you think about Gabriel Landeskog coming back?
I think he's gonna be great. I think he's gonna really help the team.
Oh my god.
But yeah,
oh my god, that's hilarious. I tried to bring Tassos in for one. He came over to me during the break and was like, "Hey, you can throw it to me if you want." I'm like, dude, I gave you a word count. I'm not supposed to be throwing it to you." All right, let's do.
Tassos is silent Bob today. Yeah,
we can do some other NHL stuff going on. St. Louis won again yesterday.
Man.
Shocker. In overtime against the Pittsburgh Penguins. It was a pretty good game, honestly. 5-4 St. Louis. Pittsburgh, Rucker McGroarty tied it up for the Pens with like 30 seconds left to send it to overtime. And I was like, oh, this might be it. This might be the end of the Blues' reign here, but they are able to keep it going.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same situation with their 10th consecutive win against the Red Wings, right? That overtime win there. It just seems like no matter what happens in that team, when you're playing so well, you win games even when you probably shouldn't, right? You just find a way to win in all situations. So it just feels like they're rolling right now, and it's like I don't know if I'm loving it. I don't know if I'm loving it. I mean, they're obviously locked for the playoffs now, but it's like now I'm thinking about it. Like I kind of threw it off before, but it's like the longer this goes on, man, it's like is there a possibility that this is another 2019 situation here? Like, I hope not. I hope they just can absolutely trounce round one because it's the Blues. I don't want to see them win. But Montgomery just seems like he's finally got this team rolling here. Just post 4 nations. It's literally looked like a different club here, and it's like just momentum at the right time. Going into the playoffs could be a dangerous thing. So we'll see. Like, do you think they could be a sleeper there? I mean,
Dude,
at this point, yeah.
I've seen a lot of people kind of comparing what's going on right now to 2019 and stuff. Look, I think they're getting hot at the right time. They look like a different team from like earlier in the year when we saw them throughout the season. But dude, the West is so good. Like, even though they're hot right now, no. Like, I could see them maybe potentially upsetting someone in the first round.
Who are they playing right now?
Right now, they would be playing Vegas first.
Huh.
Vegas is like one of the best home teams in the league.
Yeah, that'd be tough. They could though. Like I would say they make the series interesting. I don't know if they win it, but I could see them take it to 6 or 7.
Yeah. I don't know. I do not see them winning the cup just because it's like, okay, you beat Vegas and then you got Edmonton. And then you're going to have one of Dallas, Colorado, or Winnipeg in the conference finals. And then you're going to have, no, I do not believe the St. Louis Blues are good enough to win the Stanley Cup. But, I mean, look, they're definitely hot enough to, I think, do something in the first round.
Yeah, maybe. Although you could have made the other argument, though, where it's like maybe they're getting hot the wrong time, where it's like they're using it all up now. So come playoff time, it's like it kind of fizzles out a little bit.
Dump.
The playoffs are a different game, man. Like this could be a team where it just doesn't really translate. We'll see. I'm just hoping it's not another 2019 glorious situation. But we'll find out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What else do we have here?
You guys, we do have questions to do at some point.
Oh yeah, Friday questions. Let's get
I forgot about the mailbag. Yeah, I guess it is already 1:30. Do we wanna indulge in those?
Let's get the questions going.
Yeah, you want to do some questions?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
Why not? I tried to throw it to you earlier, Tassos, but you were gone. I felt bad that you haven't reached.
Sorry, I had to step out of the room on a phone call.
It's okay. You hadn't reached your word quota, so I was just trying to work you back into the show.
Okay, this one question. 2 questions from Discord, 2 questions from Instagram. The Blackhawks have 7 games left. Bedard currently has 59 points in 75 games played, 0.79 points per game. Last year, he finished with 61 points in 68 games played, 0.9 points per game. Will he be able to finish with a higher points per game percentage than last year, or will we finally be able to say he's had a sophomore slump? Parentheses, Justin rage bait.
Okay, but like I wouldn't really call that a slump though. Like, I would call it more a regression. Like 0.9 points to game to 0.8. Like that's not really that big of a difference. Like we've seen sophomores who've won the Calder go on like not look like the same player from year 1 to year 2. It's like, okay, maybe his production's slightly worse this year, but like look, 61 points and 68 versus what's it going to be? Like probably 66 and 82 or whatever. Like that's not that big of a difference there, right? I do think it's a positive too. Nobody's really talked about. Like he's played all the games this year. He hasn't gotten hurt. He hasn't gotten injured. Knock on wood. There, got 7 games left here, but I think that's a good thing from year 1 to year 2. There, no jaw injuries this year. So, but no, his production's been around the same on a team that's in the same spot. We have 52 points right now. Guess how much points this team had last year? 52. There are 7 games left for us to break that, but it's like this team hasn't improved, and Bedard's play's been around the same, slightly worse. So for me, it's like the line mate situation too. I thought it'd be slightly better than it has been, but the help hasn't really been what we thought it would be. He hasn't even really been playing with the help that much, so the team around him isn't really better. If anything, compared to expectations, it's worse than it was last year. So I guess to answer that question, no, I don't think he's gonna improve that points per game, because I think you have to put up what he has 59 points now. He had to put up like 2 points per game the last 7 to match that. But if he could be a point per game, 7 points last 7 games, and with 66, like that's okay for me. I think outside that 7-game stretch where he went without a point, I think he's been playing fine post 4 nations. I think since then he's looked like himself. So he went through a couple rough patches. I think November when he went 12 games not a goal. So he's had about 2 droughts this year, but otherwise he's been consistent. So he's been playing well. So not really anything to worry about for me, especially a team that's where he doesn't really have the weapons around him. Teenager and a second worst team in hockey. There's nothing really. We talked about this ad nauseum. There's nothing to worry about here. I know he tried to rage bait me, but not falling for it.
I don't know. You sound pretty mad. No, I'm just kidding.
I do. It does ruffle my feathers because I see it all the time, man. Yeah. All the time I see it. It's just like, it's going to be funny to look back on. That's all I'm going to say. Like, there's a lot of takes of Bedard this past season where it's like, I know all these people aren't watching. Maybe he is, but a lot of people who are saying it, these media people are definitely not watching all the Blackhawks games. Like, they're just seeing stats on a piece of paper and seeing the plus minus and, coming to conclusions there. But it's like, if you're watching all these games, he's going to be fine. So, yeah.
I don't think, Connor Bedard's not going to be able to, as far as the points per game thing, he's not going to be able to do better than last season.
No.
But, I mean, he's going to finish the year with more points than he scored last season. I know he was injured for a while last year, but still, that's positive.
Games, yeah.
I do think it's interesting, though, Justin, that you would rather say that he's regressed this year than say that he's had a sophomore slump.
I mean, I think there's a difference there. I mean, I'm not saying maybe that wasn't the right wording. You know what I mean? Like, I think slump just gets thrown around, but it's like when you're putting up around the same production. Yes, the games played is different, the points per game, yada yada, but it's like it's around the same. So I don't really call that a slump. I mean, it's not like he's fallen off a cliff this season. He's still going to be our leading producer finally, unless Donato has something to say about it. His assists is around the same, the goals is around the same. Like, a lot of his stats are the same. I think the one difference for me is like the shots. Like, he's not shooting the puck as much, where it's like if he was, he probably would be producing around the same rate as last year. Just for whatever reason, he just hasn't been shooting the puck as much this year. So that's kind of the main difference. I mean, honestly, yeah.
Tassos, is he in a sophomore slump?
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Not severely, but maybe a little bit. All right, next question. It's a list of 9 prospects. Pick 3 to trade, pick 3 to keep, and pick 3 that you have to pay $10+ million AAV. So the list is Connor Bedard, Oliver Moore, Frank Nazar, Sam Rinzel, Kevin Korchinski, Alex Vlasic, Lucas Reichel, Artem Levshinov, Landon Slaggert.
Bedard, Nazar, Levshinov, 10 million plus. Rinzel, yeah, you'd have to read the list.
Yeah, this is a hard thing. That's the
to
first
keep track
thing
of that.
I mean, it's like the 9 guys that you would think of when you think
I would say more. Yeah, so the second tier, Vlasic, Moore, throw in Rinzel would probably be keep, and then trade would be Korchinski. Did you say Reichel?
Yeah, I did.
And then who was the other guy?
Slaggert.
Okay, those are the trades then. Yeah, there you go. So what I just said, Bedard, Nazar, Levshinov, those are the core guys right there that you want to prioritize. Then there's the tier 2, right, guys that I mentioned, and then the trade pieces. Yeah.
I'm not going to offer anything different. That is the right. There was a right.
I think I got that right.
And
yeah,
I think
I nailed that. I'm actually really impressed, man.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, pay Reichel $10 million. Actually, I'm going to switch it up.
I might pay Rinzel $10 million instead of
Levshinov.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that might be an early overreaction. We'll see.
Neither of them have really played a lot yet. Okay. Instagram now. What job in the hockey world do you think you could do the best? Justin is easy. He's a social media admin. Lee could be a good revenue/strategy administrator. Let him make some deals. Yeah, I would love that too. Tassos is a wild card, maybe a league-wide exec for growth and development. Raven can do marketing or maybe game day ops for anything going on the Jumbotron.
I love this guy asks the question, then he just proceeds to answer it. I would agree. Yeah, I think social media admin, like in terms of other jobs, I don't really know what else I do. But probably just be that. I already have experience there. Like I've shown I could grow a page to 16,000 followers and help grow this as well. So I think, that'd be my thing. I think I do a way better job than the current Blackhawks person who I don't think is very good at their job. So I'm not to throw shade there, but I look at other social media people, what they're doing, teams and stuff. I think the Hawks could actually do a lot better for that regard. So yeah, I think I'd be able to help with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I kind of just got slighted with that, with those answers too. What did he say for me? I could do business deals or what? What was?
Lee could be a good revenue/strategy administrator. Let him make some deals.
I could see Lee being like a mascot or something. Yeah,
You are such a fucking.
yeah I could see him being under Tommy Hawk's costume.
And then, of course, Tassos is like, I could see Tassos being the general manager, owner, CEO, the greatest hockey mind we've ever met. I'll be a pro
Why
scout.
didn't say coach? Yeah.
I'll be a pro scout because my puck knowledge is just through the roof, as we all know. So
I couldn't coach. I couldn't coach.
yeah, you're not, dude. I could coach. I could fire someone up. I could fire these guys up. I could have these guys running through a wall. I'm not an X's and O's guy. I'm just the voice in the locker room.
There's no game plan. Just go out there and play fired up.
A GM would be cool, obviously. But I like his recommendation, league-wide exec for growth and development. That's right up my alley. I would love that.
Yeah. I'd say if it's not me, Paige Chapman, like I'd say, I think I could be like a decent like sports writer, insider type of guy. Like I could be like writing the articles and things like that. Because I do think I'm a funny guy, but I actually do think I have decent puck knowledge and kind of like this Hawks team too. Like I'm just constantly invested in what's going on. I always know what's going on. So I think I'm just super tapped into what's going on. So I could probably do that.
You should start writing, Justin.
I should. Yeah, maybe we'll throw that in there too. Yeah, I'd like to write some articles
cool.
and yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Yeah. All right. Last question. Sorry, I need to pull it up here. Which veteran besides Brody that's under contract will not be on the opening night roster next year? And what is one surprise prospect besides Rinzel that you think will be on the roster?
Martinez won't be here. I mean, he hasn't even really been. Did I steal your answer? Sorry.
Yes.
Well, I'll let you answer yours then. Or did you have a backup there?
Well, I think that
Martinez was my answer. So.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know if Jason Dickinson's going to be here next year because, like, I think he has one more year left on that deal. But it's like I look at this roster and like, what is his role here going to be? Like, he just doesn't fit in. They're not going to buy out. I've seen this thrown out there. Like, they will buy out Brody. They're not going to buy out Bertuzzi. He has 4 years left in that deal in a term. Like, he's stuck here. They have other veterans in that forward core. I mean, I still think Foligno's. He has one more year left. He's probably still going to be here.
Pat Maroon won't be here.
Maroon won't be here, right? Because he's going to retire. Who else? I feel like there's so few vets even left on his team at this point. I think Murphy's still going to be here. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's. I mean, Brossoit does even exist. I don't think so.
That doesn't count. Yeah.
No, he's not going to be here. I'd rather Comesso or Soderblom be the backup anyway. Like at this point, I don't even want to see that guy at this point. Like you're done. Yeah.
Still don't know what he looks like.
Yeah. That's probably the prospect part. Prospect that we haven't seen yet that might be on the Hawks next year. Is that kind of
it was prospect that you might not like a young player that you might not expect to be on the opening night, but is going to play, but it's going to start on opening night, right? That was kind of the.
Yeah, I don't know if this guy is gonna. He still needs to sign, but his season's not over yet. I'm not saying he's gonna be a Hawk next year, but we haven't really talked about him a ton. I think he would be on this Hawks team right now if they're limited. That's Ryan Green at Boston University. I could see that guy because I don't know if this like he's played 3 years in college. Like I don't think he really needs a ton of time at Rockford the way he plays. Like he's a 2022 draft pick around Frank Nazar's age. Good two-way player, so I could see that being maybe a surprising guy that you wouldn't really expect to be in the team next year, but maybe doesn't need Rockford time. So I'll say that. Yeah.
I'm going to say Kevin Korchinski for young players because I think he's either going to get traded or he's going to be starting with the Blackhawks next year. I don't see a world where we keep him and then send him back to the AHL again next season.
Yeah, he's done with Rockford after he'll probably get sent back down for the Calder playoffs, but hopefully those will be his last games in the AHL. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Lardis or Spellacy.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Lardis is going to probably start in Rockford, I would imagine. I'd be surprised if they threw him right in the Hawks. I think he needs some time there. But it'd be nice to see him at some point next season. I think if Katcharov's deal wasn't one more year in the KHL, we'd see him in the Hawks next year. But unfortunately, I don't think he can get out of that. And Spellacy's a while away. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for questions. Every Friday, we answer questions. You can DM them to us on Instagram at Chicago Hockey Radio, or you can join our Discord at the link in the description of this episode on YouTube and ask your question there. Raven puts a nice little folder for Friday mailbag every week. So, that's it. That's all we got.
Nice. Good questions.
All right, should we do like some quick hit?
How about the
NHL?
Boston Bruins, man? They've been ass lately. I saw a stat. This is the first time since 1997 that they're last in the entire Eastern Conference. And it's like right now they have like the 4th best odds at the #1 pick. I will say, like, That would really suck if they somehow like weaseled their way into a top pick. It's like I feel like they don't deserve it because they've been so good for so many years. They're always in the playoffs, always in the hunt. And like the one time they're asked at like the end of the season, like
they're asked
they
for
get
2
rewarded
months.
for it.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if they like leapt up? And I could totally see it too because they're the Bruins' original 6 team. Like I probably shouldn't be complaining about his Hawks team, like, but we've been in the trenches. Like we've sucked for a while now. So like I feel like we deserve a hell lot more than they would, right? They don't deserve this, right? They just joined us in the basement here. So I really hope they don't get lucky in the draft this year because that would really suck. But we'll see. Like they have pretty good odds right now, and they've clearly taken the rest of the season. Like they picked a strat and they ran with it. They sold off obviously a lot of those assets, kept the valuable ones, pillars in each spot there, and maybe this could be a quick retool for them. We'll see. Yeah.
The Sens were able to beat the Lightning yesterday in a pretty regularly chill game. I mean, I watched the first like half of it, which was when the goals were scored, but they did it without Brady Tkachuk, who is injured. I don't know what the timeline is for him. I'd assume he's going to be back for the playoffs, just because there's no way. I mean, that dude would have to have his arm missing to not play. I think
at this point, probably just rest him for the playoffs. Yeah, like what does he need to do? Like they're kind of locked in there at this point, right? They built up such a big gap there. Where it's like I don't really know if they're playing for seeding or anything. So I'd probably just rest him. Yeah.
Yeah, I do see that in the notes here that a Florida Ottawa series is obviously would not be nearly as intriguing without the brothers playing in it. But
yeah,
I have
Matthew better be back, man. Yeah,
I think he's gonna be. I think.
Yeah, you would hope so.
I would be shocked, especially like knowing what he played through in the playoffs 2 years ago.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna fight through a groin injury.
Oh, that series would be so electric, man. Hopefully we'll see it. Yeah, hopefully they'll both be fully healthy too. Like that's what I want to see. I want to see them going at each other. I think that'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
Although I don't think that's gonna be a matchup we're gonna see. To
really?
be honest with you. Yeah, because Ottawa's gonna.
Oh yeah, I mean, because in Florida
they're gonna play Toronto probably.
That note was about Saturday night. They play each other Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, Toronto's kind of come on strong lately at the end of the season. I remember not that long ago we were saying that they were in panic mode about Toronto, and now all of a sudden they look as good as they have all season. And I think that's big for them to win that division. Like if they have any chances, I think, of going on a long playoff run, you want to avoid playing any of those Florida teams in the first round. But at the same time, though, like I don't think Ottawa's a walk in the park either. I mean, that's still a tough matchup, but I'd definitely rather play them than any of those Florida teams. Yeah.
Yeah, that Toronto win against Florida had a bit of an asterisk with it. Florida was missing like half their roster.
Yeah, no, but I think in terms of seeding, like Toronto's doing what they need to do right now, and the season's strong, and avoid some of the same matchups that played you the last few years. That could be the difference for them, which I don't want it to be. I think for Toronto, I'm hoping it's another early exit for obvious reasons there. So I did see some reports about, I think from Lyle Richardson that, the Leafs will try to extend Marner if the price isn't reasonably high. But then I'm thinking I'm pretty sure the price is going to be reasonably high. So I don't know if that really changes anything there. I think, but I think his early exit would help us from that perspective in terms of him wanting to stay with them or not and his asking price and all that. But yeah, we've been down that road. Yeah.
Tonight, we obviously got the Blackhawks and the Caps, but then the two other games, Canes versus the Red Wings, and then the Wild versus the Islanders. Is the Blackhawks Capitals game the best game of it?
Yeah, those two games do nothing. Like they'll still say the Wings are in the play. No, they're not. The Wings are not in the playoff.
Neither are the Islanders.
Over. The Islanders too. Like they're both done. So those games are nothing burgers. I think anytime Ovechkin's on TV, it's must-watch hockey, especially when you're playing a Hawks team. There. So definitely a good chance we see the record today, or at least get closer to it. Like he's gonna get. I'd be shocked if he didn't get at least one tonight. Like that'd be kind of anticlimactic. So he'll get at least one. We'll see the Hawks. Maybe they have some motivation to, to not be the team on the wrong side there. But this Hawks team, I don't know. Just for everything that's happened this season, it would be the least surprising development if that happened. But we'll see.
Yeah. The Wild though, need to be careful here. I mean, they have just been dropping game after game after game, and I know I think they've got 5 points on Calgary right now, but Calgary's got a game in hand, and it's like, dude, I mean, if they lose out, they risk not making the playoffs this year, which would be horrible for them.
Yeah, I mean the Flames got a game in hand there. The Canucks are done. They're toast. So I think if it's a team that's then it's gonna be them because I mean the Blues are obviously rolling right now. And but yeah, even Minnesota, even if they, I don't think it really matters. Even if they do make the playoffs, like that team, that's an easy first round exit right there. Especially unless Kaprizov returns magically, which maybe he will. I don't know what his timetable is. Just without Kaprizov, they don't have a chance. They're cooked. So yeah, I think whether they're in or out, doesn't really matter. They're screwed.
That Vancouver loss to the Kraken the other night,
Oh my gosh,
5-0.
dude. They just like it. I watched the highlights from that game. It wasn't even like Vancouver got dominated. It was just they could not score in the first two periods when the game was close, and then Seattle was able to put away their chances. And it's just like, woof, dude. Like you were at least kind of like. Obviously, we probably even before that game thought Vancouver wasn't going to make it at this point in the year.
Yeah, and that just seals the deal.
But still, like mathematically, it's possible. But yeah, like a game like that, which is like super winnable against a team that's already eliminated, you cannot get trounced 5-0.
Yeah, I think the best case scenario there is Minnesota just keeps losing the rest of the season here. Calgary goes in a late tear here, and we get to see your tattoo. It might not be over. I don't think it's quite over yet. There's still a chance.
It's over.
We'll see. Yeah,
I'm calling it over.
Big win for the Flames last night over the Ducks.
They're still alive, man. Like they still got a shot here. I wouldn't rule it out. Yeah.
Who do
Lee's
who do
terrified
they have,
over there.
Yeah, who do they have left? Well, they got the Golden Knights tomorrow. So hopefully that's a loss for them. Who else? They got the Sharks twice, the Ducks again.
Oh no!
Oh no!
This is gonna happen.
And they have Minnesota.
Oh, it's done.
If they beat Minnesota, Lee,
yeah,
it's happening.
Fuck, there really is a chance. But they do have Vegas twice, and they have LA.
Well, what do they have to play? Are they playing for seeding right now? Like they could be kind of well, I guess they kind of are. They're only LA's like 3 points behind them, so there is still something to play for there. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, but yeah, I guess it depends on who Minnesota's playing too. Yeah, but one of them obviously is them. Yeah.
You might have to stream a Calgary Flames game down the stretch here if it gets down to the wire.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but maybe. Yeah, maybe if it goes down to the wire and it's like the last game.
Maybe the game against Minnesota. If they beat whatever you said, San Jose twice and Anaheim again.
Yeah, like, Minnesota, like it's happening, right?
Yeah.
You would think.
Yeah.
Even if they lose those games against Vegas, LA, the way Minnesota's playing right now. Yeah, they got a game in hand too.
Yeah, that might be a stream-worthy game.
It's alive, yeah. There's another race going on, the tank race. The Sharks lost 3-2 to the Oilers last night. There's 2 points, 1 win separating the Hawks and the Sharks in the standings of 75 games played, around the same record. So we'll see how that goes. I know Draisaitl was banged up in a game last night, so I think both him and McDavid are out right now, which I think if you're Oilers, like I thought McDavid might be back soon, but if you're the Oilers, like I don't know, why not just rest those guys?
Yeah,
rest
dude,
of the season here.
Absolutely.
Like,
Dry had a rough night last night. He was getting bodied on a couple of different plays that he was like got up from the ice wincing. Yeah, it's like, dude, if I was them, I would be like, dude, I am especially at this point, like you're behind LA. I'd be so unconcerned. I'd be like, rest these guys, make sure they're ready to go.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to be trophy chasing. He's won a Hart, I think, back in 2019-20 season, whatever that was. So I think the playoffs, the Stanley Cup means a lot more than that. So I think just get those extra games of rest there. Have those 210% come playoff time. Because that's, let's be honest, like the Oilers' chances right now pretty much lie entirely on those two because the rest of the team's been kind of not that great. So those two need to be cooking at their best. Yeah.
Should we do a little Hobie Baker talk before we get out of here?
Yeah, I believe Isaac Howard, Z. Bouillon, and Ryan Leonard are the 3 Hobie Baker finalists. Obviously, Leonard, we'll see him tonight against the Hawks. I believe he's playing with Dylan Strome, so that should be quite the line there. I know he was recently at the bars of Ovi, too, when he signed his ELC, so he's been having a lot of fun this week. Yeah, so we'll see how those, out of those 3, I'd say Z. Bouillon would be my pick, but could go either way because I think he's put up pretty similar production. He's a defenseman compared to those two, so yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like he's not doing it himself, but yeah, I think that Zeev Bouillon makes the most sense and the limited.
He drives that team.
Yeah.
Zeev Bouillon had 48 points in 40 games this year for Denver, 13 goals, 35 assists.
Yeah, and I think Leonard had 47. I'm not sure how much Howard had, but yeah, I think he had better production than both of them. Yeah.
Howard had 52 points this year.
Really?
Wow.
In 37 games, 26 and 26.
Wow, that's okay. He quietly had a really solid season there. I believe he's a Lightning prospect there. So, yeah, I'm definitely.
I think it's interesting he hasn't signed there yet.
You think there's something?
I
they're still in the.
I heard it's a money thing, and so they can't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Well, there might be something there. We'll see.
Prospects don't like that.
No, they don't. Interesting too. I believe Leonard and Pro had pretty similar production. So, but Leonard had the slight edge over Pro, and they're working to nominate both of them on that line there. But yeah.
Ryan Leonard, elite. Yeah, I'm looking it up. What he had, I don't know.
I think he had 47 and 35. I think Pro had the same. Yeah. Yeah.
He had 49 and 37.
Oh, my bad. I didn't take into account those final few games there.
Wow.
So. But still, Bullion like around the same as both of them. So I think he gets a nod there, and especially if he wins again there in the tournament. There you go. Yeah.
Do you agree with that too, Tassos? You'd give it to Booyam?
I might give it to Howard.
Yeah.
Maybe, but like see
Denver got
Booyam.
further too. Like
They could still win it, right? Yeah.
yeah.
I
would need to look it up.
Bullion.
I would have to look it up, like the definition, because I'm a big definition of the awards guy. You know.
Yeah. Is it like most valuable? Is it best?
Or is it the best player?
Yeah.
Is it if it's the best player, it's Zeev Booyam. If it's the best season or the MVP, you know what I mean? Maybe.
Yeah, there's a difference.
But I don't know. I don't even think you could argue that Isaac Howard is more important to his team than Zeev Booyam was.
Yeah, it's close.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
56 points is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good season, but yeah.
All right. Anything else, boys?
No, I don't think I really have anything else here. But yeah, I think, like you said, game of the night tonight for NHL. Hawks Capitals. We will see what happens. I've been talking this up so much, though. It's like I feel like for me, it's like I almost want this whole thing to happen just because I've been saying it so much, so I don't look stupid if it doesn't happen. But for the Hawks, though, maybe there's some motivation to spoil the fun because there'll be a lot of important people in the building tonight. So we'll see. Hopefully, something to play for. Should be an entertaining game. We will be watching. Yeah.
Yep. And Justin and Tassos will be doing a little pregame on Instagram and then a postgame on the YouTube channel, as we always do.
Yes, we will.
I am working tonight, so I will not be able to be there.
We won't get to see Ovechkin make history. Man,
hopefully it's not a historical night. But I know that some people, including Mr. B Hawks memes himself, are hoping that it is.
Yes, sir. I want $200 tonight. Yeah, sorry to cut you off there.
No, you're fine. Thank you guys so much for listening, watching. We really appreciate it. Be sure to like the video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you've not yet. Follow the Instagram, the TikTok, the Twitter. Follow everything. Just to stay in the loop. We put different content in different places. So all of them are worth following. And then please like and give us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, as well as leaving reviews. All that stuff really, really helps us out, grow this channel. And yeah, thank you guys so much. We will catch you tonight.
Adios.